Hey y'all, it's Slim here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back again with another freaking video. I know I've been gone for a couple days too long. I actually been really sick and trying to get all my sinuses been congested all up here and stuff like that. I still am just a little bit, but I didn't go to the gym today, so to make my day a little bit more productive, I figured I'd just cut the camera on and come and say hi to you guys. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and was able to enjoy yourself around friends and family, of course. I'm really excited for the holidays coming up just because it's going to be a lot different than like what I'm used to, so I'm really excited for that, and I hope you guys are excited. I definitely want to do some more vlogs, so yeah, stay tuned for that. I also want to say hey to all my new subscribers. Thank you guys for coming. Enjoy the family. I'm just like really excited, and don't be shy around here. I know I could be shy, but I don't have to be shy, okay? I've been wanting to do this story time probably since like the month of October, but I kind of just was pushing it off just because, I don't know, just wasn't really in that energy. So much just positive, how I am, how I carry myself. I don't wear my past as a jacket. But yeah, this story time, I guess it's pretty serious. As I'm telling the story, I'm like remembering it too. I don't know if my emotions might be everywhere. I might be laughing about some things. I think maybe that's part of the way I cope. You see, I'm getting the qualities now. Like I can't really sit still for the most part. That's because this is something. Yo, this is a lot. Like this story time, I can like feel my mood already starting to change. Just even try to, it's so many events that happened before this and what happened after. Like, whew, y'all, like, whew. And I'm just extremely grateful for where me and my siblings are today. And that nobody that caused that type of trauma or pain is no longer like in our life, and I'm just happy where I am right now. And I think when I was younger, I used to be extremely embarrassed. Now I think I'm not embarrassed to tell my stories. So for this story time, I'm gonna be preparing some muffins. I've been wanting to cook these muffins for the longest, and I think this would be a nice little treat, you know, for my sister when she gets back. So I'm just gonna be doing that as I tell you guys this story time. Some better lighting going on in here. Another thing I want to say is I'm also sharing these stories because people have always felt like they had tea on me, and little do they know, all this shit is nothing but a testimony that I know that can help kids that are going through it, kids that are born in unfortunate households. Don't give up on yourself. So for this article, this was when me and my little brother made the news. We're on TV and everything. So I'm just gonna read the article. I probably will put it on screen so you guys can see what I'm reading. And I'm just starting here because honestly, I don't even know where, like, I don't even know where to start. So it says 6-year-old girl and 8-year-old boy. I believe my brother was 7 at the time, actually. But 8-year-old boy missing from West Inglewood. Police are searching for a 6-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy who have been reported missing from West Inglewood neighborhood. Deja Barnes and 8-year-old Damon were last seen Thursday on the 71st block of South Damon, according to detectives. And they said I was 5'2", 130 pounds. Y'all, if I'm just now 120, guess how much I weighed in high school? Oh, okay then. And then I think they said my brother was like 5 foot something. Like he was like a 7-year-old. I don't know what the news people had going on. But yeah, that was basically the article. We actually did go missing. I need to get my emotions under control. Okay, so let's fast forward to before we went missing. At the time, we were staying with a family member, one of my mom's sister. We're gonna call that bitch. What the fuck is that girl name? Oh God, that's what we finna call her. Hold on. We're gonna call that bitch Ursula. And if you guys see me, maybe my nose is because I'm sick. And since I just wanted to be on an emotional roller coaster, my nose is probably gonna start running again. We were placed with Ursula for the second time in my childhood, but we're just gonna fast forward. This lady was horrible, very evil, very mean. Oh, this smells so good. We were living with her for a minute, so like my sophomore year, but this was probably like the summer after my sophomore year where this happened. And this is around the time me and my little brother were able to get visitations with my mom every week, which me and my brother adored because that was like the one time we didn't feel like the other people or the other kids or the kids without nobody, you know? Especially since my older siblings, they came to see us as often as they could, but that lady was evil. So they really did not like coming over there. And I didn't blame them. We didn't like being there. So let's fast forward to when the incident happened. Now, they were like, you know, there were some bullies or whatever. And when it came down to me and my brother doing something, it was like nobody had patience for us. It was like when we did something, it was cutthroat. Nobody had patience. That's probably why my patience is the way it is now. And there was one particular incident. My younger cousins, I don't really remember where they were going, but I do remember, I guess my brother wasn't putting his shoes on fast enough, and one of them, it could have been Ursula, or it could have been the other bitch. We gonna call her, I would call her Flounder, because that's what the fuck she gives, fish-ass energy. I don't know, Ursula and her minion, I should say. Ursula like lost patience, snapped at him, and was like, no, you're not going anymore, bye. And I didn't want to go because I was happy that all the kids were gonna be gone finally, because I got tired of taking care of other people's kids and I just wanted the house to myself. So I wasn't even intrigued on going to wherever they were going. After they left my brother, I know he came in the room crying, you know, bawling his eyes out, and I just felt so, like, I was just so frustrated because I know my brother didn't do anything, especially to deserve to not go along. And I texted my mom through Facebook Messenger, and I just told her how, like, I think I was like, yeah, they're being super mean. They, you know, they snapped at him and made him stay, and we were just saying, I was just saying how I just can't wait to be back with her and at least stay with her. Like, I didn't want to be here anymore. We don't want to be here anymore. We don't want to be where we're not wanted, you know what I mean? And a lot of shit was just like a meal ticket. You know, they got paid for having us, so doesn't mean they had to take care of us right, apparently. Then I think maybe 2 days after that, we were at her sidekick's house. So let me just say what I know. I know I was in the room chilling when Ursula came down screaming and yelling, demanding I give her the phone. And then I think she ran back upstairs. And I remember like deleting the messages out my mom because we weren't supposed to be talking to her without supervision, but I don't care. Who's gonna tell me I can't talk to my mama? Now at this point, I really don't know what was going on. Her and her sidekick were screaming and yelling at me. We get back to Ursula's house, and I guess apparently the caseworker called. I don't know what the conversation they were having on the phone. Basically, she felt like the caseworker was repeating stuff. In no way, shape, or form, I guess, could somebody know how she was mistreating us unless somebody in the house was saying it. So that's why she came in there and took my phone. We got back to Ursula's house where we were staying at. I think she took my phone, and I was dating this boy. It wasn't nothing serious. I think I just used that as like an escape way to just get from out the house because we didn't even go to the same school. She ended up like going through our messages and she saw me calling her a whole bunch of fat bitches about the incident that she did to my brother. Like, don't play with my brother. Like, that's one thing I never did is play with my brother, and I never allowed nobody to play with him. I remember her coming out the room like she's telling this boy I'm all types of fat bitches and I can't even tell y'all exactly what I was calling her. She ended up calling my boyfriend at the time's mom, calling me all types of whores and hoes, and I'm this and I'm that. I don't really know details. I only know what his mom told me, and his mom thought that bitch was a horrible woman. Like, it was embarrassing. Of course, at that time, I took it as embarrassing, but I think I seen her after. When I met with his mom after, she actually did have a conversation. When people see your character, period, can't nobody else try to affirm that. And that was their go-to. They try to get grown people to all group up against you. I don't fucking know. They're weird lame bitches. Who knows? Don't ask me where she got nudes of me from. She made this whole Facebook post saying that she was gonna expose my nudes on the internet. Don't get me wrong, family members is liking, loving what she's saying. Her sidekick came back over to the house. It was like probably early in the morning, and they were still screaming and yelling at me, still telling me to pack my things, I'm finna leave. And I just remember sitting and like being like this. And they were like screaming in my face, telling me to hurry up and pack my things. Mind you, I'm just standing still because I don't want them to hit me, or I don't want to do anything that makes them feel like I'm challenging them in whatever psychotic way. So when they finally like kind of left out the room and I felt like I could move, like I went in the closet and I started packing my stuff up. I had or whatever I could inside garbage bags. 2 minutes later, they come back in the room screaming again, talking about she's packing her things for real. And I was like... And I remember just thinking in my head, like, what the fuck? That's what y'all told me to do. My caseworker came maybe like an hour or two later. All our stuff was like at the front door. Now at this moment, I still don't really know what's going on. It was basically taking our bags and telling me and my little brother to get in the car, because I guess she called the caseworker and told the caseworker that she didn't want us anymore and that she needed to come get us and find somewhere else for us to live. And when the caseworker came in, that's when Ursula started doing all that boo-hoo stuff, talking about she didn't want us to leave. And the caseworker was like, no, you called me, you told me to come get them. It doesn't work like that. These kids ain't toys. You don't want them anymore. You don't want them. I remember a lot of like my childhood things just became numb to me, so I really didn't have any reaction to, I don't know, I think I just was numb. I was just trying to comfort my little brother and stuff. The little phone that the sidekick put in my bag, it was probably like a $20 track phone. I remember texting my boyfriend at the time. I remember not wanting even to tell him what was wrong. It was just so bad. How do you tell another 16-year-old your auntie just gave you up to the caseworker and you're finna get placed into a foster home? I don't want to get emotional, but I remember my caseworker telling us that she didn't really know the lady where we were going to, that it was just in a city, and that this was kind of the best she could do to make sure that me and my brother stayed together, because when you're in foster care, gender does matter, and they will split you up. I think she was telling us that the foster mom we was going to, it was just her and it was 2 other kids there. My caseworker was so bogus, like where she brought us, like not even no funny shit. You ever been in a house that smells hot? Like, it didn't smell fresh, it smelled hot. I remember going in and it was red carpet everywhere, like red velvet carpet everywhere, cluttered everywhere. My caseworker didn't even do a walk around the house. She only stayed in the living room part, which was probably the cleanest part of the whole house. And she was there for maybe 6 minutes and left. Like, she brought our stuff in, say hey to the lady, introduced us, and she left. Believe it or not, that's how it works in the system. And it was just like, if I need anything, holler. I think we did actually have like McDonald's or something, because I remember the foster mom was like, oh yeah, you can eat in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. And I went back to the kitchen to, you know, pull out the food and set up like the table for my little brother to come up and eat. The kitchen was disgusting. It's like dishes, probably stacked, probably higher than this box, just in the sink on both sides. No counter space. Like, it was just so disgusting in there, y'all. I can compare it to these people that clean houses for free. That's how nasty it was up in there. And anybody that knows me in real life know I'm extremely OCD. I wouldn't even say extremely OCD, but I don't do the dirty stuff, okay? I will call it out in a heartbeat. I don't mind educating, hey, that's dirty, don't do that, you know? I think it's just because of the homes that I've been in. I don't even want to be friended with anybody that lives like that. I was able to clear off the table just a tad to where my brother was able to sit on my lap and we were able to eat. The foster mom, I don't even remember her name. We're gonna call her Rebecca. No, I feel like I used that name in another story time. Karen. I don't know why, that's the first name that came in my head. I don't remember exactly what she was saying, but she was talking about how, yeah, there's gonna be chores assigned. And I remember thinking in my head, like, who the fuck is gonna clean this shit up? I didn't make this fucking mess. Y'all, I remember it was just like so fucking crazy. Like, it was just so crazy. Let's fast forward to later on that evening. So apparently it was only 2 bedrooms. She had a boy and a girl that was already staying with her. And the room was where the girl was sleeping in the bunk bed. I guess she moved the boy out of there so I could sleep in there. She was making my brother and the other boy sleep on the floor in the living room. Being in the room, I pulled out the phone secretly. Remember, the sidekick was texting, trying to act so concerned, asking me like, where did we go, like what's the address, but I truly didn't know the address. Okay, y'all, I'm done stirring this thing up, so I'm gonna go get the cookie sheet. I have my cookie sheets, and I have some cupcake shells. These are the Halloween ones. So yeah, that was their messages, and I don't know, I guess they were trying to get us back in some secretive, not get in trouble by the police on court way. Now that I'm older, I know exactly what they're doing. You gotta think, you gotta save face. You had your sister's kids kicked out of your house and put into a foster home for what? Imagine having to tell that to the rest of the family. It had nothing to do with love or they felt bad. So yeah, I think I did end up dozing off that first night. I didn't stay asleep the whole night though, because in order for him not to get beat, I would help him get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. So this was something that I did all the time. I remember I got up, I went into the living room, and I woke him up. I remember going into the bathroom, I flicked on the light. All you seen was roaches. Like they just started scurrying everywhere. I damn near screamed. My little brother jumped on like the side of like the tub, stood up on top of the tub. They were everywhere. I'm talking sink, floor. I remember holding him up so he could use the bathroom. And it just explains so much of why their house was like their house. And I remember texting Sidekick telling her it was roaches everywhere in the bathroom. I think I did end up telling her what street we were on, but I didn't know exactly what the house address said. That morning, I remember the Sidekick texting, telling me that like she's finna drive by the house. Looking out the window, they were outside, like they honked the horn at me. I remember being extremely happy though, because it was just like I did not want to be there. That was way worse than where we came from, you know? Like, I guess it was a little bit manipulative. It's either go back with them or stay with the bugs. Go back with them or stay with the bugs. Around 12, I think Karen had said that she was gonna leave and go enroll us in school. Karen ended up leaving. She took the other two kids with her. I know after she left, I remember telling the Sidekick, yeah, she left, blah, blah, blah. I do remember taking what I could carry on my back. I grabbed my brother and shoot, we just ran out the house. I'm not gonna lie. She told us to walk down the street. I remember exactly what gas station we went to, and they were waiting for us at the gas station, and we got in a car and like we drove off. I think we were in hiding for like 2 days. I think that's how we ended up making the news. One of my aunts told me that if I didn't have Dalen with me, him being 7, they probably wouldn't have looked for me just because I was a foster kid. And you get foster kids that run away all the time. Another aunt that didn't even stay nowhere near, we're gonna call that bitch Picky. She had my sister in the car. My sister was crying and stuff, and she like ended up sitting in the car with us. So we had to go in hiding. I think they were trying to figure out how to get us like fake socials and birth certificates. Their mom had called crying. Deja and Dalen are on the fucking news and blase and stuff like that. So I don't know if they were trying to keep what they did on hush hush. But yeah, come to find out, I guess they realized there was no way out of the situation without them getting in trouble. They ended up dropping us off somewhere, and me and Dalen had to, I think we ended up randomly walking into McDonald's, and we were just like, hey, I'm here. I'm laughing now and everything, but I really don't remember. That's how much I pushed it down and how I feel like how traumatic that really was for me. Really quick, I'm gonna go and put this and the other one in the oven. I think it says it has to bake for 15 minutes. You know, the police came. We didn't even like really get interrogated for real. I remember my caseworker asking us like where we've been for the last 2 days, and the story that I was told to tell was that we were just walking and like we had to sleep outside for a night, and then we just were like walking, then we just went into McDonald's. I don't think my caseworker bought it at all, because when she seen me, she asked me straight up, where's the phone that I had? And I was like, what phone? And she was like, Karen said that you had a phone, or you were doing something on a phone while you were over there. I was like, I didn't have a phone. And then I know they did ask me like, why did I leave? And I was like, well, you left us in a house with a lady full of roaches. She basically chopped it up to her not knowing they had bugs and didn't know it was like that when she got there. And it was just like, how did this lady even have her license? She didn't even have room for us. So how did we even were able? That's how you know the system just does what the fuck they want to do. They half the time they don't even look out for the best interests of the child. You didn't want to know. You didn't even do a walk through the house. Like, the fuck? They placed us with the Sidekick because I guess you can't get rehomed in the same home you were in previously or whatever. They just don't backtrack. So they weren't gonna put us with Ursula anymore. I did find out that Karen did get her foster license like revoked. Obviously it had to do with us running, but also it was the conditions that they were trying to make us live in. And I think that's another reason why they kind of just let the whole us missing thing go, because they did put us in a a bad environment that we could prove was bad. I do remember seeing Ursula again shortly after that. It was just weird. I remember she did tell me, though, I was a kid, so I couldn't heed the warning back then, that Sidekick was the one that convinced her to call the caseworker, tell them that they didn't want us anymore and to get rid of us. She said that it's crazy how she convinced me to have the caseworker come get y'all, and then she turned around and got custody of y'all for a fucking check. Something along the lines of be careful, like something about this is only for money or something, which makes perfect sense because all of them only did this for money. Like when a state used to give us stuff specifically like for us and to furnish us, she would be like, oh no, that's not fair that you get new things and my kids don't. So we just didn't get new things. Yeah, so we got placed with the Sidekick. Trust me, that was no better. That, if anything, it got worse for us after that. But that's for another story time. I really hope that like I wasn't all over the place when telling the story. I'm only giving facts of what I know, and whatever the blanks is, y'all can definitely fill in the blanks. Even give me what y'all think happened or what was conspiring. That was basically how me and my brother made the news. And I just really hope like that my testimony is able to, you know, just help kids or just people to know that they're not the only one that had a fucked up childhood. I don't wear that on my fucking sleeve, you know what I mean? That's not something I carry because I know I didn't do anything. That's something y'all gotta wake up and live with and wonder why nobody talks to nobody. When y'all die, none of y'all kids are gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that hurts my feelings. That did hurt my feelings is that I think my cousins act oblivious to the shit that happened to me, that their own parents caused, you know what I'm saying? If there's anybody out there going through anything remotely close to what I went through, or even just being in the system, dark times don't last forever, y'all. But you just gotta keep going. You don't give up on yourself. God showed me the true colors of a lot of people that I had no business ever being around in my adult years. Everything I have, I deserve, you know? And everything you get, you deserve. You don't let nobody take that away from you. They don't know your story. They might have treated you like you weren't a person. That doesn't make you less than. That doesn't make you unworthy. That doesn't mean you don't deserve love or family or people that care about you. You just stay away from them people like that. You know what I mean? People are miserable. And people see things in you that you don't even see in yourself. And that's where I'm at now, you know what I mean? I ain't let a motherfucker start shit. And y'all better not either, because y'all some raw bitches and some raw men, you know? Heal what happened to you so you can go out to the world and be a nice, positive, productive person. Like I said, people always think they got tea on you, but really this should be testimonies. I believe the muffins are done, so I want to show you what they look like really quick. Don't mind me, I'm actually making some bacon, but don't these look pretty good? Stick into the paper a little bit, but that's not the point. These are good. They're just, I want them to be a little more sweet. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys what the blueberry muffins look like and turned out. But if you guys want to see more story times, trust and believe, your girl got a lot more story times coming. So make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. And if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. I love you guys so much. You guys are just like a little bit of an outlet for me, and I just appreciate like all the support that I get. Yeah, I'm sending you guys peace, love, and light, and you guys will see me on my next video. Bye.